The mishap occurred on Friday's installment of The View Behind the Table podcast. At the beginning of the episode, the show's executive producer, Teta, described a scary situation where the set collapsed while he was preparing to record with Ana, 51. For the second time in our 50-some-odd podcast, the set just collapsed behind me. This is the second time this has happened. Both times with you here, Brian said to the View co-host. You have some sort of presence that breaks the set. Ana didn't sound amused by her colleague's comment and slammed the podcast's cheap setup. For the set is cheap, barely standing up. There's no adhesive keeping this setup on the wall. What I like, though, is that the set falls on your head and not mine, the TV star joked. Both times, it falls on my head. I think you reverberate around the studio in a way that shakes things to their foundation and to their core, Brian fired back. The duo then ended their banter and continued with the show. Cheap setup. During the October 13th episode of the podcast, Ana called out Brian for not putting enough money into his podcast setup. Pandemonium is breaking loose here in the podcast studio. The set just collapsed behind us, almost hit me, he explained. Brian then humorously stated, I don't understand this. This is a big-time podcast. We're a big-time show, and the set's falling apart. But Ana had some harsh answers for the producer. I think you're cheap, she said. You need to spend more money. We have these panels that are barely hanging on for dear life. Ana and Brian are known to throw playful jabs back and forth on the podcast, paying her worth. In an earlier episode, Ana questioned her paycheck to Brian, seemingly catching the producer off guard. It happened after she promoted the Latina Equal Pay Campaign, an organization that raises awareness for equal equity for Latinas. Are you paying me my worth? The talk show host then asked. Although Ana laughed, making it clear she was joking, Brian sounded nervous in his response. I think I am. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty sure, Brian insisted. Ana joined The View as a permanent co-host in 2022 after appearing as a guest co-host since 2018. Her fellow panelists include Whoopi Goldberg, 67, Joy Behar, 81, Sarah Haynes, 46, Sunny Hostin, 55, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, 34.